In this video, I'm gonna show you which are the best add-ons for modeling hard surface in Blender and why and how to use them. Let's go. Well, it's really simple. Hard ops, box cutter, machine tools, mesh machine, material works. That's it. That's all you need. Honorable mention, cablerator, which is fantastic, right? But these 5 add-ons, they're gonna get you 99% of results and really quickly. So hard ops, box cutter, machine tool, and mesh machine, they're gonna be for modeling. Material works gonna be for texturing and detailing. So let me show you very quickly why these add-ons are so powerful and how to use them. Right now, obviously, I'm gonna be able to show you everything about these add-ons, but I'm gonna show you a few interesting tricks, right? So in vanilla Blender, for example, when you want to, run a bevel, it requires a lot of operations. When you want to run a boolean, requires a lot of operations. A lot of things in Blender require a lot of operations, a lot of steps. It's really mundane and tiring. So when I'm modeling in Blender and I'm using, hard ops and box cutter, it's really easy. I'm gonna grab a cube, pop it in here, press Q, run a bevel, right? Then I'm going to run some weighted normal modifier to flex my faces and make everything look straight and not wonky. My modifier is being sorted automatically. I can start cutting my shape and start modeling really quickly, right? And having some proper fun in here. Now, hard ops and box cutter work together. You cannot just think about getting one or the other. Get both because they work in synergy, right? Yeah, do different add-ons, but they work in synergy. And I'll show you a good example, right? So let's say you're gonna be running here, let's say a bevel, right? And we're going to be running a bevel like this. And we're gonna cut this with a cutter, press B for bevel, and and apply it. Now, let's say I wanted to change one of these cutters, alter this, okay, or move it, or create some sort of a bevel on them or whatever. Normally I would need to go here to cutters collection and look for them, but with hard ops, what I can do, I can press Q, go to ever scroll and scroll through my cutters on that specific mesh, right? What if I wanted to, for example, duplicate this mesh and I wanted to move it a bit to the right? So let's say, I wanted to grab this one, Shift D, and move it to here on the Y-axis. You see, I'm going to lose the cutters because the cutters are parented to this mesh and they actually stay on the same position. They don't move, right? So what do? Well, it's easy. You Shift D this, right? You press Q, you go to operations, you go to Uniquify, and now you can move it because Uniquify is going to copy the modifiers, all the booleans, apply them and parent them to this mesh, and you're gonna be able to duplicate them. What if you're gonna copy these, all these objects, right? You're gonna open a new Blender, another 5.1, right? And you're gonna copy them in here with all the modifiers, sprinkled around. It's a nightmare, right? Easy. You select everything with A, you go to Q, you go to settings, you control click on manage, cutters gone, sorted into their own collection called cutters. Everything is peachy and you can go here, Q, ever scroll and recover your cutters. That's the power of add-ons. And this is just a tip of an iceberg, okay? If you go, for example, to box cutter menu and you're gonna go to deep settings, there's so much shit in here. It's just, it's crazy, right? And we have a fantastic course that actually teaches you these add-ons in depth. It's 22 fucking hours long. Everything is covered. You got all the tools, all the menus, all the tips and tricks, all the hidden stuff, advanced stuff, shit that's not even covered in the documentation. And in addition, you got the full modeling section where we're gonna model this awesome truck. Then it's a rendering, detailing, all the shebang, right? This course is phenomenal. If you wanna master these add-ons on a serious level, then get this course because this course is the best source of knowledge for these 2 add-ons. Nothing comes even close, not even documentation, and we know these add-ons inside out. So this is the best place to learn them. Link in the video description. The course is called The Ultimate Guide to Hard Ops and Box Cutter 2.0. Now, let's talk about machine tools because this shit is bonkers. Now, machine tools is one of my favorite add-ons. Machine tools is this kind of like a quiet thing standing in a corner, not making a lot of fuss, not making, not pulling much attention, but man, is this shit good. I couldn't believe that this stuff was for free for so many years. So anyway, if you go to edit preferences and you go to machine tools, right, you're gonna see, a lot of options, and I don't really use all of them. but you need to enable them before you're gonna start using machine tools because they're disabled by default. All right. Now I got 2 massive videos that cover most of these for tools and power menus, so go ahead and watch this. They're older videos, but they cover most of the stuff except for the new tools. But let me show you the very basics, the gist of it, right? First of all, when you work in vanilla Blender, you want to switch between object mode and edit mode, you need to press tab. Then you need to press 1, 2, 3. Fuck that shit. You just press tab and you move your mouse to vertex, edge, face, etc. So if I want to switch, for example, between object mode or edit mode, right, I can just go here and select vert, edge, or face directly, okay? So watch how fast this is, right? Let's say I want to work on verts, right? So I'll just switch faces to the right, edges to the bottom. Do you see what I mean? It's fast. It's really fast. And that's just one thing. Let's say you have some dirty mesh, like you got some, I don't know, some vert over here. This one is, subdivided. Let's subdivide it one more time, right? So let's grab this one and subdivide it one more time. You're gonna get some, I don't know, face in here in space, so Shift D, whatever, right? It's a mess of a mesh, everything is discombobulated. You got some non-manifold stuff going on. You want to clean it. You press 1 button, 3, you're fucking done. And if you want to clean faces, just enable them. Do you see what I mean? It will tell you what it cleaned and everything is peachy. That's the power of machine tools. And it goes deeper, okay? Let's say you want to render something, right? Okay, let's just grab a plane here, pop it in. You want to put a camera in the scene, right? Easy. Page down, camera snaps to view immediately, okay? Page down, lock to view, right? Page down, lock to view, you're in business. Now you can actually manipulate with the camera, adjust the focal length to whatever the hell you want, right? And you peachy, right? Then you unlock the camera from view and you're rendering. Do you see how quick this is? And this is just 3 tools, okay? Machine tools has, I don't know how many menus, 25, align menu, another one. This one is fucking crazy. Watch this thing. I love this thing. I get excited because I love these add-ons. They're like having a good sex. Anyway, so let's go here and let's say you have this cube and it's completely fucked, right? This one is moved here. This one is moved, closer to Jesus. And you wanna, fix it, right? Easy. Watch this. You're gonna select this one and this one. We're gonna also align pi. Align to the right. Then we're gonna grab this one and align it in here in view. And we are back to a cube. Actually, no, we're not. Here, boom, align, done. And you're back to cube. So that was align in edit mode. Let me enable align in object view and I'll show you what it is, right? So check this out. Let's say you have a cube in here and I'm gonna move it somewhere here, rotate it, okay? I'm going to grab my cylinder and now I wanna align these two in space. Select this, Alt A, done. Yeah, now they aligned in terms of rotation, location, everything. So now I can go S as ZZ, expand this. I can grab this cube, move it somewhere here, move my cursor to geometry, right? Whoops, to selected, there we go. Grab this cube and I can now go to Q and let's go to, in fact, let's just nuke this one. Grab this cylinder, move it on X in here, scale it. Then I'm gonna go to Q and mesh tools with hard ops, control click on radial array and I got a array around my cursor. Vanilla Blender what? Anyway, let me show you now how powerful is the machine tools. Everyone is afraid of machine tools because they don't really know how it works. I got a video on this one as well, go ahead and watch it. But machine tools is terrifyingly good. So let's grab a cube here and let's say we have bevels here, right? All right, and we have bevels in here, okay? And we don't like these bevels, we want to remove them. Well, good luck doing this in Vanilla Blender. However, using Mesh Machine, it's not so complicated. So let's select this bevel here, go to Y menu, and let's just simply unbevel, right? Go here, Y, unbevel. Now watch, I'm gonna use symmetry in Mesh Machine. Alt X mirror, Alt X mirror, cube. Now take a stopwatch, do that in Vanilla Blender and call me next Tuesday, tell me how long it took you, okay? So that's just one tool, right? Another tool in machine tools, which is fucking nuts, because there's just no other way to explain it, right? And describe it, is the offset cut, which is an experimental feature, but it's fantastic. So let's say I'm going to boolean these two things using hard ups because it's easier, right? So union, and I'm going to apply it. Now, first things first, in Blender, there's no way you're gonna be able to select this loop because it goes through n-gons, right? In Mesh Machine, click, Alt click, you're done, right? Selected 3 angles. Now watch this. Y, offset cut, which is here. And I can actually create an offset through the n-gons, and Mesh Machine gonna be literally eating the geometry while maintaining the curvature of these two spheres. Control B to bevel this, and Bob your uncle. Then on top of this, you can just grab this one, click, Alt click, and you can go to Y and Boolean cleanup, and you can clean that boolean either from the inner side or the outer side. Click here, click, Alt click, Y Boolean cleanup, right? Happy days. And then if you want to bring it further, you can transfer normal data, which means all these bumps and imperfections here, they're going to disappear because you're going to be transferring data from one object to another. I have videos on this one as well. So this is, you know, just a few examples of, you know, of Mesh Machine. And Mesh Machine has other tools up its sleeve, and they are crazy, all of them. Like, Mesh Machine is properly scary. When you have some serious situation in your mesh and, you know, you probably buggered, this thing is crazy, right? But the symmetrize option, you know, and the beveling and chamfering, etc., these are very, very powerful. Another one which is really cool is going to be quadrifying, for example, corners like this triangle, right? You go to Y, you go to quadrify, which is quad corner, there you go, and you can also choose how you want this, you know, the quad flow to go. I mean, which direction you want it to flow. So you can set the flow by simply rotating this quad. So for instance, now I got the flow going this way, right? See what I mean? Now I can mirror this here, and watch this. I got two flows in here in seconds, right? For my, you know, sub D. There you go. Watch this. Do you see what I mean? And then you can select all that, go to Y menu and unchamfer, which is here, and boom, right? Go here and unchamfer, right? And then Alt X, Alt X, Alt X, you're back to a cube. Magic. Right, now let me show you MaterialWorks, which is our add-on, Blender Bros add-on. By the way, all the links are in the video description. So let me show you the MaterialWorks, because this is, you know, this is not a, you know, banger add-on. So if you running, for example, renders for concept renders or renders for your portfolio, look no further, this shit is crazy. So I'm just gonna show in a simple cube, okay? So let's just grab a cube, let's bevel this, right? And let's just apply some bevel with hard ups, weighted normals, and we're good to go. Let's go here to render, and let's go to material, which is MaterialWorks. So let's first of all turn on HDRI lighting. You don't have to go to, you know, here, open this shit, go here, shade editor, enable node wrangler, go here, world, you know, click here, Control T, load edge, fuck that, okay? All you need to do is click one button, okay, here, boom, done. And you can load in as many HDRIs as you want. You're gonna get 6. These are 6 pro level HDRIs made by Alex Senchel. And if you don't know Alex Senchel is, you're fired. And he made them in Keyshot. They're fantastic, okay? I use them all the time. Let's grab this gun gradient and let's have some fun. So here, select the cube, go here, pop some, you know, pop some matte. Let's say we're gonna choose, I don't know, metal, whatever, coated titanium. Let's say we want to add some wear, no problem. Click on the wear. You can select all kinds of different wears. The initial wear setup is a bit slow. That's due to 5.1 Blender issue with nodes. Nothing can be done about this. By the way, you got different types of wears you can choose from, you know, rust, scratches, smudges, all kinds of stuff, and you can just, you know, put them on and off. You can do whatever the hell you want with them. They're absolutely fantastic. They've been created by a professional artist in Substance Design. You got 50 mats, 25 wear mats. In addition, you got 860 decals and 20 trim sheets. I know, it's crazy. So watch this. I can pop some loops in here, select this one, right? Go to turn off box cutter, go to D and grab a trim sheet, and I can pop a trim sheet in here, and I have details in seconds that actually run on this, you know, with all these wear mats and damages. If you remove this, it's gonna update. If you change the mat, it's gonna update, right? Now, what you can also do, you can pop decals, and decals are fantastic. So watch this, D, and let's go to a decal. We have emissive decals, all kinds of decals, right? Pop a decal, press D, shrink wrap it, so you're gonna follow the surface, and it follows also the surface based off of the amount of topology you have. So it's gonna add, you know, these three modifiers: subdivision, shrink wrap, and decimate on top of it. Yeah, you can change anything you want. You can change color of this decal, match it to this surface. You can change the color of the emission. You can turn it off. You can even highlight your mom with it. Do you know what I mean? You can do anything you want. Then you got also the text decals, like, you know, corporate decals and all that, and they are also really cool. You can pop these emissive decals, which are pretty fun. You can go here and turn on the emission, which is here. Just turn it on, pop some color, happy days. Do you see what I mean? So for example, if you're running some kind of like a, you know, glass situation, so let's change it to glass, right? And let's just drop the alpha, and there you go. You got, you know, really cool decal on the glass. And you have some other, you know, options in here. For example, what you can also do with this add-on, you don't really have to worry about bevels. So let's say you have a really complicated situation here in terms of, you know, in terms of cuts. There's a lot of cuts, and these cuts are kind of dodgy, and you don't really wanna, you know, run you know, bevel on this mesh, because bevel's gonna mess everything up. Let's say you got really kind of like tiny cuts like this. No problem. What you can do is go to let's just pop some plastic, whatever, and you can actually run a procedural bevel with our add-ons. So you can just go here, turn the bevel on, change it to 16 samples, make it a little bit smaller with shift, and look at this. You got a beautiful highlight on the entire mesh for rendering. You don't have to worry about the bevel. So let's say you have like a sub-D mesh, right? Let's say you're working on something, and you know, you have a plane. Let me just nuke this. You have a plane, and let's just extrude it here and scale this, and, you know, pop it down, and let's just run some, you know, sub D here and here, right? And we go into press Control 3, and I'm gonna run a, you know, boolean in here, right? So I'm just going to simply, you know, cut this with a boolean, right? So let me just actually close this. Let me just go here, cut this in. There we go. And I'm going to, you know, bevel this cutter, right? So I'm going to click here, bevel this like this, right? Let's say this was a solidified mesh, right? So I'm going to solidify, not this one, solidify this one, right? So modifier solidification. And I wanted to add some, you know, some kind of like a bevel on it. If I wanted to add bevel on it using, you know, bevel modifier, this is going to be a disaster, because, you know, it's a sub-D mesh, so you're going to get this problem. But with our add-on, you're just going to pop this one and you're done. Do you know what I mean? So you can very quickly concept some idea and render it, you know, with bevels, and you don't have to worry about it. It's going to look clean and professional. And there are many more toys in here, you know, that you can play with. You know, you have emissive mats, like for example, this one. There are mats with, for example, masks like this. You can just turn off the alpha. You're gonna have, you know, basically a mat that you can see through. So you can, you know, create some kind of walkways or whatever, right? Another one's gonna be this one, which you can turn into a emissive mat. So you can actually make it emissive. So here, boom, emit, right? And you can obviously change the color. There's a lot you can do with this add-on, so just watch the videos, so you know when you get it, and you know, learn how to use all these tools, because there's quite a lot going on in here. In addition, you got blending and unwrapping features, which are fantastic. Let's say you have, you know, a quad sphere, and then you have this aluminum, and you know, if you turn the blend to 0, you'll see you're gonna get these you know, these harsh transitions. When, you know, when the texture is kind of being sort of, you know, bent and is overlapping, right? So what you can do, you can turn the blend feature on, which is gonna literally, you know, make it disappear. But you can also use this feature, which is unwrap. So you can unwrap a model, and you can specify how you want the texture to run. So this is really cool. You can do it on the fly. You don't have to really go to, you know, to UV editing. No problem. It's really quick. So just to sum it up, these tools are designed to help you work quicker, to help you work more effectively, to help you actually think about your design instead of thinking the technicalities of, you know, what to do in Blender. What do I need to move this modifier? Why is my mesh fucked up? How do I fix this one? How do I revert this? How do I remove that? It's really quick, okay? And when you master these add-ons, when you master the workflow, which is exactly what our course is teaching you, the ultimate guide to Hardops and Box Cutter 2.0, you're going to be devastatingly quick, okay? Devastatingly quick. It's really fast, and it's so much fun because it allows you to enjoy the process instead of being stuck in the mud and thinking about all these, you know, slow vanilla solutions and tools, because it drives me fucking crazy. Anyway, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see me modeling using these add-ons, check this video next. It's fantastic. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.